Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And we're keeping it with the high school theme this week.
Maybe just a slightly different theme on the high school theme.
So just write a letter to the boys you've loved.
And make a PG-13 porno in the hot tub.
Because today we're bringing you...
believe it or not, to all the boys I've loved before. As if we didn't give it away 2 lines ago.
We did.
You
know, but like, whatever. We're not very creative, Ethan. That's why we do this podcast. Because we're not creative people. I wanna run down some stataronies with you,
Okay, fair enough.
Now, this movie was released on August 17th, 2018. That was 25 days ago, as of this recording. I have no idea what the budget was, and because it's a Netflix-only movie, I have no idea what it made worldwide. I think you can look at the Netflix stock prices, though.
Both of us watched it, so it's at least like $20.
I have the 4K family package, so that's $13 a month.
Ooh, wow. Mr. Fancy over here.
I definitely steal it from my in-laws.
Thank you. Thanks to Captain Fancy, this movie made $23 worldwide. But before we get too far into that, we've got a new patron, and he is Team Eggs, so I'm going to shout him out. That is Javier Garcia Trejo. And thank you so much, Javier, for joining. You can join as well down at the doobly-doo below at patreon.com/bacon and eggs, and you can join Team Eggs and definitely not Team Bacon, because I'm way better than Tyler at everything.
That's fine and all. I am going to shout out our new $5 patron because they don't have to choose a team, but it's El Gomez. Thank you so much for your new contribution to Bacon and Eggs. We're super happy to have you.
Neat. How did this movie do?
This movie did really, really well. It's currently sitting at a 96% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 91% audience rating, and a 64 on Metacritic, and I actually know where they're coming from.
That is definitely by far the biggest gap I've seen between Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised that this is doing better with critics than with audiences, and I think I know why. Do you know why?
No, I have no idea. I was shocked when you said 96.
I think it's the cinematography.
Okay.
I think that the story is good, but not excellent. But I think if you're a film critic, you watch this movie and you see like that scene where they're walking down into the gym and they're like in two halves of the door. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the scene at the end where she's walking down the like half field on the lacrosse pitch and it's got like great depth to it.
Yeah.
I think this is just shot extremely well.
I can get behind that. Well, before we dive too much into what made the movie good or bad, we got a couple other things to take care of first. We need to give do we do positive and negative reviews?
I don't think we did. I mean, we have not yet. No,
we haven't, but do we do that before we do the toothpaste?
Yeah, we do everything
cool.
through binary,
so,
and then we do toothpaste.
You've got a positive review for me.
Yeah, this sorry, I didn't know you were waiting for it. Yeah, my positive review comes from Linda Holmes at NPR. She says, the film is precisely what it should be. Pleasing and clever, comforting and fun, and romantic.
Aww.
No.
But
I like the NPR because, you know, why not? Getting smart.
I've got a negative review here from top critic on Metacritic, Leslie Felperin of The Hollywood Reporter. And she says, whatevs.
That's it?
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Just whatevs.
Whatevs.
Is there a full review to go with that?
There is. It is lengthy. But that is the tweet review that she picked for Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh. Oh god, my computer's making noise at me.
It does not have a score though. She did not give it like a whatever out of whatever.
Right. I can see where Leslie Felperin is coming from on that one. It is kind of a whatevs movie. I want to hear your binary score for this, Ethan. I think I want to know what it is.
It's a soft one.
It's a 0.
I think it's a 0 because I guess the one needs to be pretty solid. It's a 0.
Here's my thing.
It's like, it really is though. I know this breaks the point of the binary, but it really is like a 0.5.
That definitely breaks the point of the binary. Here's my thing. Do you need to watch it?
No, but
then it's a 0.
But it's not going to hurt.
It's not going to hurt. Do I recommend you watch it?
Sure. If you want.
Yeah, I don't even know that this is the first thing I would recommend on Netflix right now.
No, almost certainly not. The Black Panther just got put on Netflix.
And Thor Ragnarok's still on Netflix.
Yeah. Even if we're looking at like teen dramedies, it's probably not the first.
No, I wouldn't say you need to see this over Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah, or any of the like standouts in that category.
Yeah, or Love, Simon, or what else?
I don't know. I might say you should see this over Paper Towns. But I just have really strong anti-Paper Towns feelings.
Paper Towns was only okay, but I wouldn't recommend this over, like, Fault in Our Stars.
No. I would probably recommend the upcoming Hulu miniseries Looking for Alaska that hasn't come out yet over this.
Quick question. I haven't looked at the casting for that, but I recently reread the first few chapters of Looking for Alaska. Is Alaska white?
Yeah.
The way she is described does not sound white.
She's definitely white. It's
Really?
a John Green book.
I'm pretty sure she's black.
I don't think so. What makes you think that?
He talks. I've met girls who match this description of like short, curvy, beautiful black women.
If the only thing you're going on is short, curvy, and beautiful, she could be any race.
All I know is he talks about how she's curvy a lot.
Yeah, he's also a little weird. Him being Miles.
Miles is very weird. He's the reason that, like, literature Twitter is, like, always making fun of how you describe women in books.
He being John Green is the reason this movie exists.
This movie?
Yes.
Yeah, Margot's in it.
Yeah. I was like, that is not subtle.
His character is in it.
That is not subtle at all.
Right. Margot Roth Spiegelman is in this movie.
Anyway, Tyler, what is your toothpaste and orange juice?
We got a countdown?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hurricane
sick.
preppers.
What was yours?
Hurricane preppers.
Oh my gosh. You get so frustrated about this.
I do. I really do.
You are like a northerner who just moved to the south.
No, I just don't think
time.
that we need to freak out and panic. I don't think freaking out and panicking solves anything.
I didn't freak out or panic. I didn't
say you freaked out. I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about the fact that there was like no bread left Monday when we went to the store ahead of a storm coming 5 days from now.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's not like there's a wind up where like the storm is like kind of happening for a little bit before they say it's going to get here. That doesn't happen.
Right.
The storm just happens. It's the same thing with snow. I believe I've complained about this in a previous episode about the fact that I can't get my milk sandwiches when it snows.
You know what we did have this week, Ethan?
What?
You and I had like the Oreo flavored Walmart brand cereal.
The Malta-Meal?
It has changed my life.
Voice crack and everything.
Changed my life 100%, man. I've had so much of that stuff lately, like a ton of it.
Fair enough. No, I mean, I get that, like, being prepared ahead of the storm. I understand. Whatever. But, like, nobody needs to freak out, especially in the part of the world that we live in. Freaking out doesn't get you anywhere.
You don't think the mountains are gonna, or you think the mountains are gonna protect us?
No, I think we're gonna get a lot of rain.
We are gonna get a lot of rain.
And if you're in downtown, in the part, like, over by, yeah, you're literally you are absolutely hosed. Your house is going to be underwater.
Yeah, like an Old Southwest.
Yeah, just move. Just move right now. You need to freak out. You, not you specifically, Tyler. But people that live in that part of town should be freaking out.
Well, it's been flooding differently in these past few years. It's very confusing as to what's going to happen.
I can tell you exactly what's going to happen is all of downtown is going to flood like a mother. That, like, all of the businesses that we love to go to are going to be gone come Monday.
Oh, I hope not. I like businesses.
That's what I think. But, like, the average citizen, it's like, you live on a hill. Stop worrying so much.
Yeah, I will say this. We spend a lot of money prepping my house for this event.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most case scenario with most of these storms is like you spend a bunch of money, you freak out, you disrupt your life, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never bought snacks before. Like, you know this. You lived with me for 5 years. I just don't buy snacks.
You bought snacks more than most people I've lived with. I don't know where you got this attitude that you don't buy snacks, but you definitely used to buy snacks. You would just buy a snack and then eat all of it.
Obviously.
At one time.
What else are you going to do with snacks?
Break it up a little bit. Don't jam an entire family-sized bag of chips in your mouth at one time.
Always do that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Anyway, so being sick. Tell me about being sick.
It's some bullcrap, Ethan. I wake up Saturday morning. No. When did you come to my house?
Monday
morning. I woke up Monday morning. I haven't been sick ever. I mean, that's not true. I've been sick plenty of times. But I don't remember the last time that I had like a cold. I woke up Monday morning. My nose was stuffy. I had like a pressure headache. It's some bullcrap, Ethan. What are you supposed to do?
You take some DayQuil and you shut the heck up.
Oh my God. Everything is miserable. My voice keeps cracking. You could probably hear it in my voice. It's like a half octave deeper.
Yeah, if I sound sick, it's because I'm sick. I'm also sick.
I'm dying. It's probably because you hung out with me all day on Monday. Now I'm like a danger to society.
No, you're fine. I was sick before. I just have really, really bad allergies.
Oh my gosh.
All of a sudden. I'm on like 7 drugs now.
Do you know what's worse than toothpaste and orange juice?
Gatorade and orange juice. We've been over this. Not Gatorade. No, I keep saying this. Gatorade and orange juice. Gatorade and toothpaste.
No, toothpaste and freaking, what's the other thing? Toothpaste and freaking DayQuil.
Wait, you buy DayQuil that you drink?
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh yeah, I do it big.
Nah, I can't do that.
You can just keep pounding it. That's the thing.
No, you can't.
I don't. Don't worry. I'm not encouraging.
You can only take it every 4 hours. You start feeling real weird if you break that.
I took it at like 10 in the morning and then right before we started this. So is that too frequently?
No. See, here's my problem with DayQuil and NyQuil, like especially NyQuil. Actually, just NyQuil. Is it like, because I'll take them, you do the thing where you get the variety pack that has both the DayQuil and NyQuil pills, and it's got like 3 sets of DayQuil pills for every NyQuil pill.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to get you through like 3 days of having a cold.
Right.
By the end of that 3 days of having a cold, I'm hooked on sleep aids.
Yeah. Then you just take NyQuil all the time.
Right, but that's bad.
I take NyQuil while I'm driving. I take NyQuil.
That's a terrible idea. It specifically says, do not operate heavy machinery.
A car's not a heavy machine.
I mean, yes, it is. It's heavier than a hammer, and I wouldn't advise operating a hammer on NyQuil.
Seems like you got a pretty special relationship with that hammer.
And it's the same thing with Benadryl. It's like I'll get like a bad allergy attack or whatever, or just like an actual sickness, and I'll take a Benadryl, and I'm just like, this isn't gonna work. It's not gonna make me go to sleep. I've been coughing my head off. Nope, done. Out cold.
It's almost like they put drugs in these things.
It's almost like they do. Like it's literally just a sedative.
Yeah.
That's the slogan for Benadryl, right? Like you can't cough if you're in a coma.
Yeah, that's the key.
Anyway, to the boys that this child has loved before. Let's talk about it.
I'll tell you one thing, Ethan.
Did you write a letter to all the boys that you loved before back in high school? Let's talk about that.
You doing a little red and link?
Yeah, I told you I watch Good Mythical Morning every morning now.
Oh, look at you.
I wake up, look at my phone, which is the worst thing you could possibly do with your life. That's like the one thing they tell you not to do is like wake up and look at your phone, but whatever.
Oh, I do that every single day.
Don't currently have a job. Don't care.
I do that every single day. Even when I had a job, but I shouldn't admit that I don't have a job. I do that every day anyway.
Yeah, I voluntarily quit. We know this about me.
But yeah, I look at my phone every morning. I don't watch.
So I wake up
GMM.
and I'm like, hey, there's a GMM now. Well, I just decided I needed a routine. I needed to engage in more of content that I was more actual content and less like what is somebody complaining about on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is my life though.
It's like I got up this morning and watched an episode of Good Mythical Morning with Jacksepticeye.
Do you like Jacksepticeye?
I do after watching this episode of Good Mythical Morning. I've never actually watched his videos before. He just looks really annoying.
He definitely looks really annoying. Looks like somebody I wouldn't get along with IRL. But then I've watched a few of his videos, and the same thing happens every time with these giant gamer YouTubers, is I'm like, there's no way I would like this dude's videos. PewDiePie, he's the most famous person ever. I'm not a teenage girl. I'm gonna think this is stupid. This is hilarious. I love every second of this.
Right,
it's
like,
amazing.
As soon as he started talking, I was like, oh, this guy's Irish. He could say anything, and I would think it was cool.
Yeah, and the same thing happened is like as soon as I saw Markiplier, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's such a big YouTuber. Got invited to the red carpet for some event. That's insane. He probably sucks. I'm gonna hate his content. Oh my god, I love every second of this.
Is actually hilarious though.
So is Jacksepticeye. He's so funny.
I haven't listened to or watched any of his videos. I probably will, but
yeah.
I don't understand in general. Like I always claim to not understand the concept of like gaming videos, and then I watch them. I'm like, I get this, but then I never know why I get it.
You know, I think it's its own kind of ASMR, man. It's like a trance.
I think you're right, but it's like because the only time I ever watch him is if I'm like, hey, I don't know if I want to buy this video game. I'm gonna watch somebody famous play it and decide if I want to get it or not.
Man, that's gonna be a great way to sell video games. Jacksepticeye is way funnier than the story of like EA's Battlefront 2.
Accurate. But it's like that's always worked for me. Like I watched Hank Green play like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I was like, I have to have this game. And then turns out, it was still fun, but it wasn't as funny as Hank Green being bad at it.
It didn't take John Green playing FIFA for me to want to play FIFA every minute of every day.
No, but every time I watch John Green play FIFA, I really want to play FIFA.
Yeah, and then
somehow I go start playing FIFA, and the experience is lacking.
Yeah. It is. Because, I completely agree. But, like, when you and I played FIFA in college...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the experience of FIFA is not lacking because I watched John Green play it. It's because that I can never go back to what we had sophomore year of college.
The Dons.
To the Dons.
Those were the original Dons.
One day we're going to have to tell that story. We'll do a brunch and do, like, college stories, and that'll be one of them.
Oh, my gosh. People email us. What questions do you have about college? Do you want advice? Do you want to know what to do in class? Do you want to know what college was like for us? Please email us, baconandeggsmedia@gmail.com. We will answer all of them. Anyway, I want to talk about this movie. We literally haven't said anything about this movie
That's okay. Yet. That's okay. We're giving the people what they want.
What they want, Ethan. What they pay for.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you want to pay for it, we'll write you a thank you note. Go over to patreon.com/baconandeggs. This is a secret I'm just going to share with you, listener. If you go to patreon.com/baconandeggs and sign up for the $1 reward tier, it will not charge you until October 1st. We will send you a letter in the mail saying thank you so much before Patreon even charges you. How cool is that? That was me and the listener. Ethan didn't hear that. He didn't know what I just said. This was an aside between you and I, listener. An aside, that's a literary term. Shakespeare used those. There's one actually after the speech in Romeo and Juliet where Juliet's like, wherefore art thou Romeo? And then Romeo says something to the crowd from the bushes, but Juliet doesn't hear him. It's called an aside. It's like breaking the fourth wall. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is that Romeo is Deadpool. Anyway, Ethan, I want to talk to you about, don't worry about whatever just happened. I want to talk to you about this movie, Ethan. I love Peter Kavinsky. Okay. I don't mean this in like a, I love the character kind of way, or like a, I thought it was really well written. I mean to tell you, I am in love with Peter Kavinsky. I want to date that 17-year-old boy.
I would advise not saying that.
I mean, obviously not actually, but there are a lot of teen movies, and there are a lot of reprehensible and terrible characters on both ends of the spectrum. One thing I really liked about this movie, as far as teen movies go, is that like it went right in the face of what it was talking about. Like it was trying to, like it tried to anyway. It tried to be like, these are stereotypical characters. This is LJ or whatever her name is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
She's a nerd, and this is Peter Kavinsky, and he's a jock. But I didn't feel like they were nerd and jock. I felt like this is a school where you can just be friends with whoever the crap you want, and it really doesn't matter. And I don't know if that was to the film's credit or a disservice to the film, but I didn't feel like Laura Jean was like unpopular.
Yeah, undateable.
Right, like undesirable in any way.
No, I think she was just the girl that had never had a boyfriend.
And read romance novels.
Yeah. She was
all
like
by the same author.
She was just like that girl.
Right.
But no, that is the one thing I actually really liked about this movie is that I was so prepared for the ending to be so predictable and for it to just be like, oh, 20 minutes before the movie ends, Peter turns into this terrible jerk bag and gets back with Jen, and Laura Jean ends up hooking up with Josh. And
Josh was never going to be the guy.
I was so ready for that. And then they gave Peter the opportunity when it was like, oh, he went back to Jen's room after they made out in the hot tub, and I was like, there it is. There's the thing. I hate this movie. This is terrible. And then finally, Peter was just not a jerk, and they ended up together, and I was like, that is so refreshing.
They did end up together, and I'm glad she didn't end up with Josh, because that was her sister's boyfriend, and that would have been weird.
With that being said, I have no idea, because there's always like all these like teen movies and everything, there's always like a theme that you're supposed to get away from it. I have no idea what this movie was trying to sell me. No clue.
I don't know. I don't know. This obviously isn't the overall theme to the movie, but there was a quote in this movie that I really, really liked that I thought was, she says a few things like this. They do not show a lot of quotes for this movie.
Well, it is a direct-to-video movie.
Right. She says something when she's at the diner with Peter Kavinsky the first time, and they're opening up to each other for the first time. Do you remember this scene?
Vaguely?
Where she's like, my mom died and everything's not the same. And then Peter Kavinsky's like, my dad left.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago. And he's like, it's not a big deal. We don't have to talk about it. And she said in response, I don't know exactly what she said, but she said in response something brilliant to the tune of, it is a big deal, but we don't have to talk about it.
That is definitely an important thing you could take away from it. And the thing that she says later on where she's like, it's good to be able to talk about my mom like it's a normal thing.
Yeah. And obviously, I don't think that's like the overarching theme of the film, but that was something that stood out.
But that is important, is like, yes, it is something that's drastic and is going to change the course of the rest of your life, but it is okay to live with it.
It is okay to live with it.
I think that's definitely an important message, especially for like children of divorces and parents that die and stuff like that. I think that is an important message for kids like that, is that like you're allowed to keep living your life. You don't have to be burdened every day with, wow, my mom died, how can I live my life according to that?
Right. So I thought that was important. I also I thought
sorry, go ahead.
No, go, you read ahead, please.
No, obviously it was not to the same extent, and thankfully everything's fine, but it's like I got a certain degree of that in my own life where like my mom did have cancer, and thankfully she's fine. It's been like 12 years, everything's good, we're all good.
It's been 12 years?
It's been 12 years, yeah. Or 11 at least.
Dang.
She's over the 10-year threshold of like, warning signs or whatever.
Right.
So she did have cancer. She beat it. Everything's good. But there was definitely a period of time where like people, not necessarily my close group, but like people that were sort of close with me and knew what happened, expected me to act a certain way because of that.
Right. They expected you to let it define you.
Right. It's like all of a sudden I had to be the cancer kid, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's like that's not how the conversation with me and my parents went down. It's like my parents sat me down. They're like, this is what's happening, and everything's probably going to be okay, but it might not, but it probably is.
Right.
And so I think that is an important message. But as far as the whole big thing, I really don't know what this movie's trying to sell me. Like, you watch Person Being a Wallflower, not Wildflower. Thinking of Tom Petty. And
man, that's a banger, in case anybody's curious.
Yeah, absolutely. But you take away from that, you're like, it's okay to be a little bit different. It's like the people that love you are going to love you no matter who you are, as long as you're like cool with them. And you take away from Love, Simon, it's like, it doesn't matter if you're gay, just don't be shitty to your friends.
Right. Like, just be a nice person.
Right. And it's like all these movies have this kind of message. What is the thing at the end of like a fable? You know what I'm talking about? There's like a word for it.
A moral?
Yeah. Like a moral. You're supposed to, the lesson that you're supposed to have learned from watching this. I have no idea what that is for this movie, and it's possibly because I'm not a 16-year-old girl.
I'm not a 16-year-old girl either. I will say, usually, like this theme comes up a lot in movies, and I might be changing the subject. I honestly don't really know how to answer the question that you're asking.
I'm just throwing it out for discussion if there is any. It's just I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from it.
Yeah, well, let me pivot and see if we can
Pivot!
look at a few situations in the movie that I felt like this didn't advance the story in the way I expected it to.
There were a couple hard yeets in this movie that I thought added a lot to it.
So obviously the filming of her in the hot tub with Peter Kavinsky is like somewhat a violation of her privacy, but at the same time, I didn't personally think that there was really anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it was just the implication that they were like having sex in public.
But they weren't.
They weren't.
She was completely dressed.
Right. But it was a hot tub that prevented people from really seeing what was going on, below the waistline.
I guess. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, oh, look, somebody got a picture of that.
It felt really forced in the movie.
It felt very forced.
But I did...
Like if she had taken her, if she was in like a bikini or something, that would have been different. Although then it would have been like Westworld, and I would have been like, why do you have to take everybody's clothes off all the time?
I did like Peter's reaction, though.
I thought that was genius.
Yeah, when he just straight up, and this is, I think, part of the message, if not the entire thing, is to like, sometimes you need to talk about these things on the head of it, and he literally just turned around and he's like, hey, by the way, I'm the guy who has all the power here. I'm admitting that, and I'm going to stand up and say, hey, nothing happened. Stop being mean to this girl about it.
Right.
And that was good. I mean, I think that's an important lesson for people to learn, is that like, if you are in the position where you can do something about it, do something about it then and there. Like, don't let the rumor mill take over.
Now, I will say, I would have thought Laura Jean would have been more upset about the conversation she heard between Jen and Peter while she was on the bleachers. Agree, disagree?
I think she was adequately upset, because I think that she truly believed that Peter wasn't into her, and that she was like, this is what I signed up for. I deserve this. Because on some level, it is, like, that was the whole plan, was that he was going to get back with Jen, and she was going to...
Yeah, but the moment you put movies you have to watch on your fake dating contract, including 16 Candles and Fight Club, it's not a fake dating contract anymore.
That was the thing I thought immediately. I was like... And I was like, this is so predictable. These two are going to be so in love because they're so compatible.
Right.
Because they've both got that movie that the other one's like, wait, you haven't seen this?
Right.
And
Have
they're
you seen
both
16
like,
Candles?
Yeah,
Have
obviously.
you seen Fight Club?
Yes.
I've never seen 16 Candles.
It's worth a watch. It's not as good as The Breakfast Club or Ferris Bueller, but it's worth a watch.
Interesting. I've heard that.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, it's more so than most of the other like 80s movies, like the Brat Pack movies. It is like a chick flick. It's like, it definitely appeals more to girls. Like, it's not weird science. It's like the other end of that.
Right.
But it's a good movie. I mean, it's funny. And the character they talk about is incredibly racist.
Yes, I can tell just from that one
There's
scene.
just like a Chinese exchange student who is, and that's part of the whole thing of this movie.
What?
Is that it doesn't matter that they're Asian.
Oh, I love that. That is not brought up at all.
Yeah.
And their Bill Maher looking dad is just...
This movie does hit every teen movie trope, like all of them, because it's like you start off, you've got, oh well, like one of the parents isn't there for whatever reason, you've got like probably too many kids for that situation, you got the dad that doesn't really know what he's doing, but like, by God, he's trying.
Yeah,
he's trying to make a normal life, he's making Korean food, and they're all like, all right, let's just pretend it's good for dad. You've got,
I'll tell you, let me tell you about the dad real quick. The way the dad is written is mind-blowingly happy for me. The dad in this movie wants his daughter to be dating. He genuinely wants his daughter to be happy and experiencing the things that she should be experiencing.
Right, he didn't do any of the like, man, if you hurt my daughter, I'll kill you.
Oh my god.
He was just like, hey, no drinking, no drugs, whatever.
I think he says no touching there, but then later in the movie he like gives her condoms.
Oh, no hands. Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah. But he's a gynecologist, so he has this like very clear
That was the next trope I was going to point out, is like way too comfortable talking about his daughter's sex life. It's all of the things that make up. You've got the sister going to another country to go to college, and it's
what
like,
is that?
It's just unreachable, and like is everything you want to look up to. You've got the wackadoo best friend.
I love the little sister too.
Yeah, you got the crazy little sister. It's like it's every John Green book. It's Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's all the Dan Levitan novels, and like Easy A all rolled into one giant movie.
Yeah, I love that the little sister is popular.
Right, it's like she goes, I had to cancel plans to hang out with your boring ass on a Saturday night.
Right, and she's like, at lunch, we had to rotate who sat with who. One thing I didn't feel like was stressed well enough, maybe I was paying attention at the wrong times, was how afraid Laura Jean was of driving.
I think that was very much stressed. And,
I felt like...
And like a little bit racist.
Yeah, that was the only moment where I was like, oh, really, Asian girl can't drive?
But
Very
it's
clever,
a book.
Netflix. It is a book.
Written by an Asian woman, so whatever.
Whatever, no biggie. But I just felt like that was... Plus, she drives a Subaru. She's not going to get hurt.
She's just still scared. I mean, that is a thing. Especially they live in a city, it seems like, where it's like perfectly reasonable for her to get a ride from somebody else.
Every day.
Right. It's like they live in a city, so there's obviously like some public transportation network system that is available to them, as well as they live in like the suburbs of that city, so it's like she has neighbors that can take her to school.
Right. And she has Peter Kavinsky.
Yeah.
What did you think of Josh?
Didn't really know why he was in the movie, tell you the truth.
I didn't either. I kept thinking he was going to come in and have a bigger part, and it was just kind of like at the beginning she was like, I used to have a crush on Josh. No, I don't.
And then my sister started dating him. And
right. And to me, that's such like an obvious, like Netflix put out 2 movies with the same sort of problem premise. Like I watched Kissing Booth as well, which you didn't watch, so I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for you.
That's fine. I don't think I'm going to.
Right. You weren't required to. But the premise in that one is that there's this girl who's born on the same day as her male best friend, and she has a crush on the older brother of her male best friend. And the problem is that she wants to date the older brother. And it's like this weird, like these weird familial problems. I don't know. I don't think there was one time in high school where I was like, I really liked that girl, but my brother already dated her. And me and Ben weren't far enough apart where it would have been like impossible for that to
You guys
happen.
were like 3 years apart.
Okay, it never happened to Ben and Jonathan.
I mean, that's true.
And Ben dated girls who were maybe not my age, but like closer in age to me.
Yeah, but you didn't date girls your age.
Or older. That's scary.
Yeah.
These girls are mature.
But I mean, that I imagine that is definitely a real thing that happens. Like, it's been written about enough that I'm sure that... I think it's usually the other way around, though, is like the older sibling brings home the friend or whatever, or the boyfriend, and the little sister becomes like obsessed with that person.
This actually did... I was actually in one of these situations. I take it back. When I was growing up, I was friends with a guy. He was on the swim team with me, but he went to the rival high school, and he was like 2 or 3 years older than me, and he had a little sister who was 2 years on the dot years younger than me, and her and I went on a few dates, even though I was like friends with him.
Yeah. Well, it's like I couldn't date Ben.
What, my brother?
Yeah.
Obviously not.
I mean, there's multiple reasons there, but like, if you had a sister Ben's age, I'd be like, that's weird.
That is weird. Yeah, they're in a whole other tax bracket of age.
It's like Josh should have thought that was weird.
Yes, Josh should have been very uncomfortable with that situation, because it seems like, what is he, a senior?
I'm thinking he's a senior, and he's a year younger than Margot, and then
What a stupid freaking name.
except she
Like,
wasn't.
no creativity
she wasn't like the
whatsoever.
manic pixie dream girl, though.
No, the best friend was, right?
What? No, nobody was. There wasn't one.
Oh, no.
This is a movie about girls.
Yeah, but the best friend of Laura Jean, Chris,
Yeah.
that girl's a manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, if she got her own story.
Right. There is easily a story written
Oh, you
about
could
that
easily
girl's
you could
senior
easily
year.
write a story about Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I fell in love with this girl who said whatever she wanted to whoever she wanted.
Right,
She
she had
once
this-
told off the gynecologist because he was a man.
She had this real quiet friend who like dated the most popular guy in school.
Right. You know what? I'm pulling up my fan fiction.
I would advise reading the book and also its 2 sequels before you write a fan fiction.
There's 2 sequels?
There's 2 sequels to this book.
How?
I have no idea. I guess that one of them is about the conflict between Homeboy that shows up at the end of the movie and Peter. But
Here's my thing. The guy that shows up at the end of the movie doesn't matter.
right, it's just a funny little thing. Because
Right.
I was the whole time thinking like, what happened to that guy?
He doesn't matter.
Because like one guy didn't get his letter. We showed Josh. We showed Lucas, the gay guy.
Lucas, the gay guy, yeah.
And we showed obviously Peter.
Peter, yeah.
And so it was just like the whole time it was in the back of my mind like there's a 5th person involved here.
I was, if you're the creator of this film, you, Ethan, are given this book, do you just make it 4 people?
Yeah, probably. I probably make it 3, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe 4, but like there's the whole point of the kid that like didn't get the letter. Why?
That's true. Like, what's the point
What
of
is
that?
the purpose of that?
I guess it's so that she can see that they went out, like, through the mail.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. That's valid. I don't know what I would do if I was the creator. Honestly, if I was the creator of this movie, I would shoot the first act the exact same way. Like intro, the whole thing was fine. It was really well shot. It was like a Wes Anderson movie. It was like you gave Wes Anderson the reins of like a teen comedy.
There's a lot of, like, head-on shots.
Yeah, like really good Wes Anderson shots and a lot of color, a lot of unrealistic expectations for what a teenager's room looks like.
You didn't think that was... I thought her room looked perfect. I mean, the walk-in closet's a bit excessive.
Like that's the thing. It's just the extravagance of these rooms. It's like when Simon has the full like chalkboard wall in
Oh,
in
it's
his like
absurd.
in his bed alcove.
Yeah.
It's like
He's
what
got, like, a
houses
full
are like
office.
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose house is like this?
Yeah. But her room's not that ridiculous. Like, it's a pretty square room, and then it's got a walk-in closet. But her dad is a gynecologist. He's probably pretty wealthy.
True, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like real teenagers don't actually have rooms that look like that.
I have no idea what teenagers are like these days. The only teenager I talk to is not going to homecoming. So
I've never felt more disconnected with the youth than watching this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
thought-
It was just like this was the first time where I felt like there was an actual, like, they were actual teenagers. I know some of them weren't, probably.
Like King Badge?
Like King Badge is 30. But like, I felt like it was about teenagers.
I definitely felt like it was about teenagers. I still no idea what a high school party looks like. That could have
No.
been accurate. That could have been inaccurate.
That was a pretty chill party compared to most high school parties in movies.
Yes.
It's like there was a bunch of
Correct.
people gossiping on the couch, and then like somebody playing beer pong.
Yeah.
It's like there weren't 100 people in her pool, or his pool.
Right. Like, and Steve Aoki wasn't there. and-
Right, exactly. So I still have no idea what a high school party looks like because the portrayal, I think it's most accurate in Superbad.
I don't remember. That.
When they go to the party and it's just like a bunch of people drinking and hanging out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get invited to high school parties. Didn't then. Don't know.
I would hope not now.
I wouldn't go now. If somebody was like, "Yo, Mr. Carlin, you should come to this party," I would be like, "No, absolutely not."
Negative,
oh
Ghost
my
Rider.
God, that is all sort of reasons
Let
I'm
me
gonna get
tell you
arrested.
what I'm not doing this weekend.
Going to a high school party.
But yeah, it
I don't
was
even want to go to college parties anymore.
it was well shot. It did look nice.
It was well acted too.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like
Like, it wasn't by any means
even-
poorly made, especially considering I had no idea who anybody was.
Yeah,
Not the director, not the... Will Smith was a producer, but whatever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Will Smith was a producer. And I didn't know any of the actors.
I knew King Batch.
Is Jacob Sartorius in this movie?
Who's Jacob Sartorius?
He's that guy.
Which guy?
He's like I don't know, he's like a Vine kid. He dated Millie Bobby Brown. He's like he's like Celebrity Birthday's #1 most famous person.
No, he was not.
Yeah,
in
you know
this.
who I'm talking about, though.
No, I've never seen this person in my life.
You say this every time we talk about Jacob Sartorius.
Born October 2nd, 2002. It's coming up.
Yep.
He's 5'8".
He just made a cover of Hooked on a Feeling, it looks like.
Hooked on a feeling.
He's got a tank top that says Sartorian for life. I hate this kid. Anyway.
What a guy.
Anyway. He's just like, when I think about like the youth, this is the kid I think about.
I like Lucas's quote. Like, you're a sexy little Rubik's Cube. He can't figure you out, but he's trying.
I
That's a good one.
love the movies with the gay friends. Like,
I feel like I'm not crazy about the portrayal of gays in movies, in that they're always like ultra fashion forward, and I don't know.
everyone
Seems a
in this
little-
movie was ultra fashion forward.
Correct. Even Laura Jean dressed like a freaking fashion model.
Well, even somebody says that. It's like Peter says that. He's like, Jen's gorgeous, but you got style. And I was like, what a different thing.
Peter is such an interesting character.
Yeah, because he gives a about her from the very beginning.
Yeah. I didn't like that he showed up and he was like, "Sorry, this is never gonna happen." I was like, "Shut up, man."
Well, he was still dating somebody else.
No, they'd broken up.
They'd broken up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know when exactly they broke up. Also, her name's Jen with a G.
What?
Yeah, Gen.
Oh, because it's Genevieve.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Well, they say it in the movie.
Do they?
That's the only reason I know. Yeah.
Oh, she was in Deadly Sorority.
I bet she was. I feel like it's a good film, Ethan, and I enjoyed it.
You gave it a 0.
I did give it a 0. You don't have to see it. Although, listener, this episode will make a lot more sense if you see it. So for that reason, I recommend you go to Netflix.com and watch this movie. I would have thought they were all very, very young. I will say Margot's character at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, okay, that girl looks like she's in high school. And then she comes back and I'm like, that girl's 100 years old.
That's what college does to you, man.
Yeah. Holy crap. That girl grew up a lot.
She is like 30. She is about to
bet.
be 30.
We're about to be 30. Janelle Parrish.
No, she's about to be 30 like next month.
I also didn't realize their last name was Covey.
What is it?
Covey.
I think it's Covey.
Covey.
Because
They kept saying
kept-
it over
yeah.
and over again in the movie, and I thought it was like they were saying like Covington or something, and they were giving them some cute pet name.
No.
And I was like, what is going on? No.
Yeah, Covey. I thought it was Cubby, Cubby, or like Cuddy.
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, no idea. And it's not like it's not written anywhere.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, it's Dr.
just part of the
Cubby.
movie.
There we go.
Did you in high school have anything like? Obviously not like love letters to all the boys you've loved. But did you have like anything like that? Like a secret box of anything?
No, not really.
Did you ever write not like love letters that you would have like sent in the mail, but like love notes and stuff?
Almost certainly. I really don't remember though.
I don't either. I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I think I think I wrote like a lot of weird stuff.
But like we came in the genesis of like AOL Instant Messenger.
Correct. You could write like the 2006 equivalent of what Peter Kavinsky did was like setting your away message to be like, hey, everyone stop picking on that girl.
Right. So it's like our interactions like that were almost like forced to the digital because of that.
We wanted them digital.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was like that's how you did things.
Yeah.
That's how you did your flirting.
I never did flirting. No, I'm kidding. I was such a freaking flirt in high school. I'm kidding.
I was about to say.
That was my existence.
This is a movie, man. Okay. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break here from the movie. We've got to pass the hash browns real quick.
Yeah, we did. Whoa, crap. Ethan, what did you think of Bo Burnham's self-titled album?
Bo Burnham's self-titled album was hysterical.
It's so good.
It's so funny.
His best stuff.
It's wildly inappropriate.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I feel like
Clan Cookout.
I feel like he definitely did the new math bit for us.
No, he didn't.
I've definitely heard it before.
It was on YouTube.
Was it?
Yeah. And I remember that specifically going into his show thinking he better do new math because I know that one. And then he didn't.
It's so, all of his stuff is just, at least this early stuff, I don't really know what he's like now, but it's just so wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, oh, well, you can't say that.
You can't say that in 2018.
And I was like, Bo, you're white.
He's a born Bostonian.
Yeah. Something wordsmithsonian.
Aryan librarian of the word Smithsonian.
What a weird thing. I mean, it was really funny. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you made me listen to it. It's definitely, I've never been super into like musical comedy. Again, I think somebody basically told me like that was lame and I stopped listening to it. But this was super funny. All of his songs kind of sound the same though.
Listen to it? Really?
Yeah, like every time he started playing the piano, I was like, this all sounds like Sweet Home Alabama.
He plays guitar for some of them.
Well, all the ones that were played on the piano sounded like that. It was like
that's the same. I mean, that's the same thing with like who's the violin player in Dave Matthews Band?
Boyd Tinsley.
Boyd Tinsley. Every solo of his starts with Afternoon Delight.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, it does. If you listen for it, you'll hear it everywhere moving forward.
But no, it was super funny. I super duper enjoyed it. I'm really glad you made me listen to it. I highly recommend going and checking out Bo Burnham. I had just watched the end of Parks and Rec, where he's on like the last season as like a country singer.
Yeah.
And that is just super mean to his dad.
Yeah.
And sings songs like, got my truck and my barbecue, hope our boys get home safe.
Yeah. He's just parodying the whole
plays the
country
bass.
music industry. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, that's Bo Burnham right there, playing this 16-year-old country singer. And then I went and listened to Bo Burnham, and it was super duper funny. I really enjoyed it. Very much happy you made me listen to it. I've got, I think, a good one for you this week.
Okay.
What did you think about my hash browns?
I didn't listen to it.
You didn't listen to it?
No.
It's been 2 weeks.
So, it's been 2 weeks?
No, it's been like, this is the second week we did this.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I know. And I don't like have a good excuse per se. It was kind of obscure to get to. And then I kept meaning to send you a text. I was actually thinking about it like this morning while I was cleaning my house. I was like, I should text Ethan and get the link to that thing so I can listen to it. And then I didn't. And now I didn't listen to it. But I will. You just got to send me the link.
Okay.
Can you send me the link?
I can send you a link. But you're getting a different challenge this week as well.
Okay.
I'm going to inflict a punishment on you.
What?
Yes.
That's not
That's
fair.
how this goes, man. You missed a week of hash browns. It's like you missed.
Okay.
You're John Green and you missed a video. You got to like eat your body hair or something.
I think I'm more of a Hank.
I'm not gonna make you do that, obviously. What I am gonna make you do, since you just gave me this great idea, is I'm gonna make you post a video in our Facebook group of you singing at least part of Afternoon Delight.
Oh no. Okay. That's gonna be hard.
Even if it's just like, if you just give me a chorus or like a first verse and a chorus.
Right. I don't know how the chorus goes.
It's Afternoon Delight. You'll pick it up pretty quick.
This is what Boyd Tinsley does. He plays the "Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight." He plays that over and over and over and over and over again on every Dave Matthews album, including the live albums, which are really the only ones that matter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I definitely know what you're talking about now. Or you could also do through the first chorus of "Hooked on a Feeling" by Blue Sweet. I'll leave it up to you.
That's my song!
I'll leave it up to you. That is your punishment for missing this.
Oh God.
And since you missed it, I don't feel bad about giving you this hash brown.
Okay, what do I have to listen to?
I'm not gonna make you listen to something. I'm gonna make you watch something.
What do I have to watch?
You have to watch Independence Day.
I have to watch Independence Day?
Yes.
What a great one for 9/11. Today's 9/11 when we're recording.
Oh yeah, it is.
By the way.
Look at that. Yeah,
So
you have to watch Independence Day.
Okay, I can do that. Is it on Netflix? Netflix?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I doubt it. By the way, that's the reason we did this movie this week, is because every time we do a movie, people are like, is it on Netflix? And we're like, no. This one's on Netflix, believe it or not.
It is. It's only on Netflix.
If you really can't watch Independence Day, we could figure something else out, but that's my challenge to you.
No,
I'll
find a way to watch Independence Day. Let me see. I honestly need to figure out what exactly I need you to do this week.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, that's not good. Don't want that.
My baby gonna hold her
Hold
tight.
her
Gonna
tight.
make some afternoon delight.
Okay, so Armageddon is on Netflix, but not Independence Day.
I hate Netflix sometimes where it's like movies related to. I'm like, I don't care. I searched.
I don't care.
I very specifically searched this one thing.
Yeah. All right, let me see.
I could make you watch A Very Merry Christmas.
God, no, so bad. Let me figure something out for you real quick.
Thought you said you had Ash, bro.
Did I?
Yeah, at the beginning.
I don't remember saying that. And if I did, I need to figure out what it was. Oh, I think I was going to make you watch Kissing Booth.
That sounds terrible.
I know. I don't want to do that to you. Oh, my gosh. Have you watched... You know what? I don't know if you've watched this or not, but I'm going to assign it to you. And if you have watched it, I'll figure something else out. The first as many episodes as you want to watch. Minimum 2.
Okay.
Because I think they're only 27 minutes.
Okay.
Of White Gold on Netflix.
What is White Gold?
White Gold is about...
About Michelle Pfeiffer?
No. It is about...
Bruno Mars lied to me.
It is about selling windows in Essex in like the 80s.
Okay.
Like window flashing.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's got the dude who played Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl. He's the lead.
Oh, yeah. Totally know that guy.
You'll know. Don't worry. Anyway,
never watched
you're going to watch
Gossip
this
Girl.
shit. This is an... Ethan will love this shit. It's a Netflix original, so anybody can join in on this.
All right, I'll check it out.
On the flip side, just so we're all aware, similar to Kevin Spacey, we do not support this man and what he did to those people, as he was also part of that whole thing right around when this show came out, which is probably why you didn't hear about it. But the show is really good and super inappropriate.
Ed Westwick, the Chuck Bass guy? Or
Yeah.
He touched kids?
I don't think he touched kids. I don't like this making noise right now.
Well, there are 6 episodes.
Only 6?
Yeah.
No. I think I've seen all of them.
Well, I will give it a run.
Yeah, watch as many as you'd like.
Okay.
The pilot is very, very good.
I love a good
but I
pilot.
think that they're short.
I am
episodes,
very
the other half
picky
hour.
about my pilots. I'll be honest with you.
Well,
I think you
you'll
know this
enjoy
about me.
this one.
I firmly believe that the justification, you just got to give it a season, is such crap. Like, if your pilot can't sell me, I'm not interested. There are so many TV shows out there.
There are so many TV shows out there. I will say, in defense of bad pilots, your pilot needs to be good. Your pilot shouldn't have gotten sold to the network.
That's my thing about it.
That's my thing as well. But like shows like, I would talk about Arrow, but you're gonna give me crap if I talk about Arrow because it's for me and nobody else.
I mean, I've tried Arrow. Like, I legitimately, as much as you've talked about it and as much as like I've given you crap for it, it's like I watched 2 entire seasons.
I can't believe you didn't like the second
I
season.
just
I love
couldn't
the second
care.
season.
I don't like any of the characters.
I really like Manu Bennett, who plays Deathstroke, and I really like the guy they got for Deadshot. I think those are both amazing characters. But I'll talk about something else. Iron Fist, season 1, garbage. I haven't watched it, but I know it's garbage. Everybody's told me. Everybody agrees. Iron Fist, season 1
was not good.
Garbaggio.
Yeah.
Iron Fist, season 2, everybody is like, this show is amazing now. Everybody loves it. Iron Fist season 2, people give it thumbs up. I think it might get like 50-something%. In fact, I'm gonna find out because I want to know what
I maintain that I love Marvel's Daredevil.
Yeah, me too.
And then I tried to watch Jessica Jones, and the pilot episode of Jessica Jones is unwatchable.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't even
Kristen
pretend
Ritter.
to care. I like David Tennant.
Yeah, I do too. I legitimately like Kristen Ritter. I liked the bad sitcom she was on with James Vanderbeek. Something about being a huge.
I don't know.
It was
yeah,
Don't Trust the Bee in
42B or
Apartment
whatever.
23. It was really funny. And I think it got canceled because it had to make room for The Big Bang Theory and Two Broke Girls.
As it should have. Two Broke Girls is cinematic gold.
It's just not.
It's just so bad.
It's just not good. I like Kristen Ritter in Breaking Bad. I really want to watch Breaking Bad again because I am currently watching Better Call Saul.
Oh, is it good?
It's very good.
I've heard good things, but not enough good things that I feel like I should watch it. If that makes sense.
It is like you gotta care. You gotta wonder how like nerdy, no confidence Jimmy McGill becomes Saul Goodman. That is the only reason I care. So
interesting.
Like they do a good job of selling it in that it's like it immediately starts in like a post Breaking Bad scene, like Saul's in like witness protection.
What happens post Breaking Bad? I thought the show was a prequel.
It is. You get that first scene that's like, hey, by the way, this is what it's about. And he's like watching his own commercials, like reminiscing on the good old days, and then it shoots you back in time to Jimmy McGill and like a young Tuco. So it's about Saul, it's about Mike, and then they bring back the like villain characters.
Has there been any cameos from like Jesse and?
Nah, we're not in that timeline yet.
Will it get there?
I don't know. I did recognize a guy in the show though because he narrates audiobooks.
Weird.
Yeah, Dennis Boutskaris, who's the narrator for American Gods. I was like, I recognize that voice attached to this guy that looks like Michael Douglas.
Yeah?
Yeah, looks like Hank Pym. Anyway,
Who Michael Douglas.
it's what he looks specifically like Hank Pym.
Gotcha.
Like suit, hairstyle, everything. But Better Call Saul is good. But yeah, I have a thing with pilots. Like if your pilot can't sell me on an episode on the show, it's like I'm probably not going to watch it.
I think that's why the network makes sure the pilots are so good.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If like the pilot doesn't hook me, I'm not interested.
Right. And I think you're the popular mentality.
I'm not though. I'm just not because I don't like a lot of shows.
I don't either. I'm very.
I watched the
picky about
first
my
episode
shows.
of a lot of shows, especially people like, I don't know how you don't like that show. And I'm like, the pilot was bad. Why didn't you watch the rest of the first season? Because I don't have time.
It is time consuming. What about a show like Glee, which had an excellent pilot and an excellent first season and an excellent second season, and then it got really bad?
I mean, that's an unfortunate thing that happens. Like that definitely happens, and it's like Parks and Rec had a good pilot, a not so great first or really second season, and then like an awesome rest of the seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like Parks and Rec so much. It's, by my rules, I shouldn't like it.
Because the first season makes you sit through so much.
Right. And then you got a show on the other aspect that's like Breaking Bad, where they like melt a guy.
Yeah.
In the
Breaking Bad. Now that's a pilot.
Yeah. In the first episode, and you're like, holy this is a show I gotta watch. Oh wow, it's not that long. This is amazing. Like the Mad Men pilot. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
That
Easily one of the best episodes of television ever made.
Yeah, I love the Mad Men pilot.
I love the whole show.
Toasted.
It definitely got off the rails toward the end when they started getting into like the 70s. And I haven't even seen the last season, but it definitely lost the plot, as all TV shows eventually do, except Breaking Bad.
Ross and Rachel was the thing up to the very end.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm just not even listening to arguments for Friends anymore. I'm so over it.
Why?
Because Friends is so average.
It's just not, man. Friends is amazing.
It just is. There's so many episodes.
Yeah.
70% of the episodes I don't care about.
Really?
Yes.
It's not about the plot.
Yeah,
it's about
but
the chemistry.
That's what I want from a show, though, is the plot. That's what I care
weird.
about. That's why I like even sitcoms like The Office and Parks and Rec, because they have a plot. There are entire seasons of Friends that just don't matter.
You know what gets me is
Also, all those characters
The
are horrible
Office.
people. Fun fact.
who the characters in Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, the more I get into like my
Miserable,
late 20s,
sorry excuses for human existence.
in my late 20s, the more I'm like, I don't think I would have wanted to have been friends with these people.
No, they all suck. They're mean.
Yeah. They're mean. I don't like mean people. I don't like doing mean things. Like we have a fantasy football league where we do a lot of trash talking, and like I don't know how to handle it.
But I think that's why I'm gravitated, especially with sitcoms, because most of them are just about how mean can you be to each other and still get away with it. And that's what I loved about Parks and Rec is like Leslie and Ben are the nicest people ever.
Yeah, Leslie is like insanely, but Ron's really mean. Everybody loves Ron.
I mean, Ron's not mean though. Ron truly and deeply cares about the people around him. He just won't admit it.
Yeah,
because everybody knows a guy like Ron. Not to the extent that Ron is, but everybody knows a guy like Ron.
Well, yeah, they're all like that's the whole joke is that everybody is the whole joke with Parks and Rec, and I think this is genius, is they start with these crazy exaggerated archetypes and then mold those into characters you care about and develop them over the course of the 6 or 8 seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, it starts out with like Tom as this like materialistic guy, like materialistic gold digger.
Yeah.
And it ends with like entrepreneur.
You think so?
Well,
you haven't seen the last season.
To me, Tom's story arc ends
At Tom's Bistro.
At Tom's
Yeah.
Bistro.
The way that the first 6 seasons of Parks and Rec ended was perfect. With the Unity concert, with everything. The 7th season ruins a lot of things. It also has a very touching ending and makes a lot of really funny points, but it isn't like it's hard to consider it canon.
Right. And I don't really want to watch anything past what I've seen. I think it ended so well.
It's the last season's worth a watch if you take it with a shaker of salt. it's like 11 episodes.
Yeah.
So you can knock it out in a solid afternoon. Like, it's worth a watch. It is funny. It relies a lot on the dude that I hate from Workaholics, being part of Grizzle.
Who's the dude you hate from
I hate
Workaholics?
Workaholics, for starters. I hate that show. It's not funny. Workaholics is not funny.
Who's on the cast of Workaholics?
It's the guy that looks like Carrot Top and Shaun White had a baby that's like that guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Not
Ned Devine,
not the
or
actual
whatever his name is.
Yeah, not the dude from Pitch Perfect. You're talking about Blake Anderson?
I don't know who's in Pitch Perfect. The guy with the long hair.
Yeah, Blake Anderson.
Sure. Hate that guy. Hate that whole show.
I never watched it. There's 86 episodes of that.
Workaholics is like It's Always Sunny for people that are too stupid to understand It's Always Sunny.
Wow, brutal.
It legitimately
It's Always
is,
Sunny
though.
is also a show. Is that still on TV?
Yeah.
Man, I missed that.
Great pilot, great first couple seasons, just totally went off the rails.
You know, it's kind of how, it had a good pilot and then totally went off the rails?
This movie that we're talking about.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory had a great first couple seasons.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was new.
And then it dumbed down.
Yep, as they all do.
Yeah. Had to be for everybody. Except me.
Anyway,
Well,
let's
not
talk
for me.
about this movie.
All right.
You said you had more stuff to say.
I do. Let me pull up some reviews so that I can remember what this movie's even about. What do you think of the fact that they chose the perspective of the middle child for this movie? And do you think her placement as the middle child has bearing on her character?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the attention's never been on her. I think that matters.
Right. She wants to be Margot, but she's not Margot, and she needs to realize she has her own value. And, like, the baby child totally gets that she has her own value.
Correct. The baby child legitimately likes her.
Right, but the baby child also realizes that herself is important.
Like her
Kitty
character,
understands
Kitty.
that Kitty is important.
Correct. Yeah, she understands that, like, I am a person going through life and the experiences I have matter.
But, like,
and I can have an impact on other people.
Right, you can clearly see that Margot leaves, and Laura Jean has no friends.
She has Chris.
She has Chris, who always wants to eat lunch at Subway.
Yeah, man, you want to talk about, like, a blatant product placement. Subway put their own emoji in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, we can't eat this contraband Subway on the bleachers, homie.
Subway.
Yeah. She goes to lunch the first day, and Chris is like, nope, just had to go off campus and get Subway.
Had a Subway craving. Also, that reminds me, why do people leave high school to go to lunch? It is a half-hour lunch.
I think other people have longer lunches / were allowed to do that.
We were not.
Correct. We were absolutely not allowed to go off campus for lunch.
That would have been insane. Nothing good would have come with it. It would take half an hour to leave if everyone was allowed to go.
Yeah, it took half an hour to leave every day.
Yeah.
It's like on days we didn't have marching band, I would like leave class and bolt for my car because we had the good
try to get
spots.
out.
You and I got the good spots, which meant that we were blocked in.
Yes, marching band. What a good time. I still like the fact, I just want to talk more about how she doesn't seem unpopular. Like, the popular girl is just one person.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it doesn't even seem like people particularly like Jen.
right, like Jen doesn't seem like
Jen was at that party with one friend, just chilling.
right, and it's
Well, popularity just isn't important in this movie, is the thing.
right. She does mention it right when she introduces Jen, where she's like, Jen was popular and I was not.
Right, and then it just immediately doesn't matter.
Right, but like Jen says something to her and her friend immediately backs her up.
Yeah, she was mean about the boots, and then
I did think it was weird that Chris and Jen were cousins. I didn't feel like that relationship made any sense to me.
yeah, it seemed like, oh my god, my freaking pop filter. It seemed like a relationship that was left over from the book, and they were just like, well, we should probably include this.
Right, yeah, oh crap, we're gonna need to... Because, like, I have cousins. I would not just be outwardly mean to them for no reason. Even if they were, like, rude to one of my friends, I would have been like, hey, that's not cool. That's my friend, and you're my cousin.
You should be nice to Laura Jean. Why can't we all get along? You
Right.
guys used to like each other. And it turns out Jen was super mad because Laura Jean kissed Peter in middle school.
That was so dumb.
Right, but that...
I didn't care about...
I don't know. I actually thought that was perfect because that just... Jen's so petty, obviously, that, like,
Right.
it makes sense.
Yeah, but she... Oh, gosh. Would you... I don't get the Josh thing.
Are we back on why
Like,
is Josh in this movie?
Why is Josh in this movie? Like, it's fine. Okay, so your sister has a boyfriend.
And you're in love with him.
I think it was wrong in the first place for the sister to date him.
Right. It's like, this is Laura Jean's friend.
Right. Laura Jean's, like, best friend.
Right. It's like if you had an older sister that was like, I'm going to date Ethan.
Did you think it was wrong? So, like, the mom says, don't go into college with a boyfriend. Is that like a dying wish? She's like, yeah, I definitely will not go to college with a boyfriend.
I think it was just a piece of advice she took from her mom.
It seemed weird that she broke up with him going to college.
I don't think that's true at all.
Really?
I think that their relationship didn't matter as much to her as it did to Josh. And she was like, I'm going to school in Scotland.
Yeah,
Let me
I
tell you what
definitely
I'm not dealing with.
My high school boyfriend.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
I think that was an important thing, though, is like, it's okay to not go to college with the guy you dated. Or not still dating the guy you went to in high school to college. It's okay
can end
to
that
break up with the
relationship.
guy you dated in high school.
For, when you go to college. You don't even have to try to make that distance thing work.
Right. It's like, I think that's important because there's a lot of pressure there to like maintain every relationship, but it's like high school relationships, unless they are really something special, are generally just high school relationships.
Well, and I think it's very hard for a high schooler to see that perspective and see that possibility. Like, I know I didn't. I definitely took my girlfriend into college, or I took the weight of that relationship to college with me. I wasn't going to Scotland. I was going across the state, but we were still roughly together for my first year of college.
The girl that I was dating before I left for college broke up with me like a week before we left.
Why?
Oh, because she was cheating on me.
Oh, nice. You don't have to say his name.
I mean, I'm not gonna leave that. I'm just saying, like, that was a legitimate thing. Is it like she was messing around with some other dude?
Interesting. I think I knew that. As soon as you said it, actually, I knew that.
Yeah. So it was like that was a weird thing, and like I don't think I particularly did anything with that information because I didn't really date anybody my freshman year of college. But it's like it definitely was nice not having to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up, like, you meet so many people in that new world that you could not have imagined meeting, especially like from our perspective. Like, we went to a high school of like 800 students and then went to a college of not a ton, but of 5 times as many, 6 times as many.
Right. There's a lot of people.
And there's no way to perceive of that many people.
And like trying to do the distance relationship thing while you're a freshman in college, I feel like I've never hardly seen it work.
Yeah.
It's like if you guys are going to college together, like go for it. And I'm not telling anybody not to go for it. I'm just saying like you don't need to feel pressured because it's what I did in high school. I have to do it in college.
Right.
Like no one cares.
Yeah, those decisions you're making at 18 that you think determine the rest of your life don't.
Like, I promise you, your mom is not going to be like, oh, wow, you broke up with Christopher? Like, I hate you.
How dare you? How dare you?
Right. It's like, your parents don't care. Nobody cares. It's like, he's going to move on. You're going to move on. Everyone's going to move on. Probably. Or if it's meant to be, Christopher will find his way back into your life.
Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it'll be.
It'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be. I should get a cold and become a country singer.
I still think we need to release country songs.
Country, like really basic country songs.
I mean, I'm down. Like, we can make this happen.
Bo Burnham style country music.
Right. Like I said,
I'll tell you one thing.
Friday.
Ethan, this movie clocks in at 134 minutes. No. That would be way longer.
99 minutes.
An hour and 39 minutes. Was that too long?
Yes.
You thought it was too long?
I felt like it went on forever.
I felt like it didn't emphasize the right things.
Yeah, I got 45 minutes in and I was like, what are they going to do with the rest of this hour?
Yeah, I felt exactly the same way. But I also felt like I was dissatisfied with the building of her relationship with Peter. Like, the recovery of the bad things that happened was satisfying, and at the end I was satisfied with their relationship. But I felt like
I enjoyed watching them fall in love but not realize it.
I felt like it happened in like 30 seconds.
No, it happened over months.
Right.
Because it was happening since
over
day
30
one.
seconds of film.
No. It happened since day one of the relationship. It's like every time Peter had an opportunity to be a jerk, he just wasn't.
Yeah, he's so nice.
It's like he would still say things like, oh, wow, when I get back with Jen, she's going to love this or whatever. But it's like he legitimately cares about Laura Jean. You could tell immediately.
Yeah. He's doing this whole thing of... I'll tell you one detail that really opened my eyes to his character was when he was like, you've never dated anyone. And she was like, you've only dated one person. Right? So he's going over this like immense initial heartbreak and doesn't realize what's happening.
Right.
That he's immediately falling in love
Right. He has
with
no
this
idea
other girl.
because he's just like, I got to get Jen back. I got to get Jen back. I got to get Jen back.
Fight Club.
Right. And then all of a sudden he finds this girl who's obviously way better for him because she's like, yeah, I'll watch Fight Club. I got the feeling that Jen never watched Fight Club. Like that.
Oh, she definitely
that wasn't
didn't watch
said,
Fight Club.
but it was just like when Peter got the opportunity to show somebody that movie, he was so excited. On one hand, I was like, seriously, Fight Club, come on, do better.
One thing I wanted them to revisit, and they didn't. Do you think Peter Kavinsky would drink whatever he wants as long as it's got a drop of pee in it?
Yeah.
Or do you think he'd drink water?
I think he would absolutely drink the pee.
What would you do?
What was the options? You can only drink water.
You can only drink water for the rest of your life, or you can drink whatever you want for the rest of your life, but it's got to have a drop of yellow pee in it.
I would take the pee.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
The pee?
I drink a lot of beer, man. It already tastes like pee. It looks like
what
pee.
What was I drinking?
Like,
I was drinking a Corona Light.
Corona
Drinks
Light.
Like pee. Drinks like pee.
Is that their slogan?
I can see that on the
Corona
bottle.
Light. Drinks like pee.
Drinks like piss.
It's Modelo time!
Modelo does not drink like piss. Neither does Landshark. There's all these great cerveza-like beers that don't drink like piss.
But neither does Corona Extra, which is what you should be comparing it to. Don't drink Corona Light.
I mean, this was just what was in the
I know,
fridge.
I'm just saying, don't expect Corona Light to be good.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, this smells like
Corona
piss.
Light is like a light beer. It's like if they made
like a light
Michelob Ultra Light.
What do you think of Coors Banquet?
I don't like it.
No?
I prefer Coors Light to Bud Light. I prefer Bud Heavy to Coors Light. Or to Coors Heavy.
Oh, Budweiser. Bud the Wiser is the best of the heavy light beers.
Yeah, the American premium light lagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coors Banquet comes in little stubby bottles, which is cool.
It is very cool.
Got like a neat aesthetic. It's like yellow.
Yeah, it's very cool. What about like Bush Heavy?
No, I would rather have Coors Heavy.
What is a diesel? If I said we're drinking diesels, what are we drinking?
Budweiser? Yeah, Budweiser. The Bud Diesel.
Okay.
That's what some parts of the world call a Bud Heavy. It's Bud Diesel.
Bud Diesel. I thought it was weird they didn't revisit the Mountain Dew pee thing. I also thought when he said I couldn't give up Mountain Dew, I was like, you could pick any drink to not give up, and you chose Mountain
He was like a
Dew.
sophomore, maybe.
He was a senior.
No, not when he said that. That was before he started dating Margot.
Yeah, and then when he starts dating her, he says, "Look, stick with."
What is the point of Josh?
I don't know.
I'm still not getting it. I'm like, I feel like there's something I'm missing here with Josh. Josh is supposed to teach a lesson. All Josh does is come in and do that weird friend thing where it's like, your boyfriend doesn't care about you, man. Oh, I care about you.
He shows up at the end. There's the scene where Margot, Josh, Laura Jean, Peter, and Kitty all confront each other. And Josh teaches a lesson in that scene that Laura Jean thought she loved him because he was the only guy that she ever got to know.
Right. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. She liked Josh because Josh was a guy that was around.
Yeah, because she took the time to get to know Josh.
Right. And clearly when she took the time to get to know Peter, she loved Peter. Which, just a friendly reminder, this movie is awesome specifically because she ends up with Peter.
Because Peter's awesome.
Yeah. Like every movie, especially the ones about girls, have this moment where like the guy turns out to not be who he says he is, and it's actually the friend she should have been in love with all the time.
But Peter,
like it happens in Easy A, where Emma Stone's on a date with the guy, and he turns out to be a huge jerk, and she should have been dating Lobster Todd the whole time.
Man, you know a lot more about.
It's a really good movie. Okay, it is a really good movie.
I haven't seen Easy A. I saw it once, and I remember being like,
yeah,
people think this is really good.
Because it is.
Wrong.
No, it is really good. You need to go back and revisit it. You're wrong, and it is a really good movie.
It's like the modern adaptation of The Scarlet Letter, right?
Yes.
That's the
But
story.
It is very funny. It's got Stanley Tucci. It's witty.
Wow, I said that, and just so you know, the synopsis of this movie starts with the sentence: Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter is reimagined as a contemporary high school comedy in this tale of
yeah, I mean, no, it's not like they nail it on the nose. It's a real thing.
Right.
She wears the A.
Yeah, I knew that. And Amanda Bynes is in it. She's a popular girl.
Yeah. And Lisa Kudrow is a huge.
Lisa Kudrow is a.
Yeah.
She's like a grown up.
Yeah, she like cheats on her husband, and Emma Stone catches her at it. But it's like it's worth it for the scene where like because they have the two, Holly Hunter, I think, is who it is, and Stanley Tucci have like a black son that they clearly adopted because neither of them are black. And the child says something about being adopted, and Stanley Tucci's just like, "What? You're adopted? Who told you? How did you know?
Who told you?"
And it's just hysterical because it's Stanley Tucci. It's Caesar Flickerman. He's just playing everything up. He's hilarious, and he is the epitome of the dad that is like way too cool for his own good. But it is a funny movie, and it shares a lot of parallels with this movie in that like they have a similar development. It just goes the other direction because she stays with Peter instead of the guy that seems awesome.
But Josh isn't awesome.
No, I know, but like they're not. That's what I'm saying. Peter seems awesome, and she stays with Peter instead of the guy that seems awesome being terrible.
Right, and there's the turn.
The turn isn't a turn, and that's what's so great about this movie.
Yeah, I think what it shows as a viewer when you heard that he went to Jen's room, were you like, what?
No, I instantly knew. I was like, he went to Jen's room to call it off. She's gonna get mad. They're gonna get back together.
Yeah, I felt
this movie was so predictable.
I trust Peter.
Yeah, this movie is.
But I think that's important. I think it's not nothing to say that I trusted Peter at this moment. Like he really had to.
No, the movie does a very good job of painting Peter as this like excellent guy.
Yeah,
he's got a couple things wrong with him. Like he's definitely still obsessed with Jen for part of it. But like Peter is an excellent guy, and he is just super nice to Laura Jean in ways that girls imagine guys are.
Here's what I want to say is the theme of the movie. I think we've reverse engineered it.
Okay.
I think I've gotten to
it.
A lot of young people, especially digital age, Tinder dating, all of that, need to learn the lesson that it is okay to have baggage.
Yeah.
And that is what this movie teaches. She asks Peter straight up, do you still care about Jen? And then there's a scene later on where she talks to Josh, and he's like, Josh, do you still love Margot? And he was like, I did at first, and there was a lot of feelings there. And it's
like maybe he doesn't always love Margot, but he's never gonna not care about Margot.
Right. He's always going to remember that first relationship, and it's okay that it hurts that they broke up, and it's okay that it hurts that your mom died, and it's okay that it hurts that your dad left.
Well, and especially coming from from people that are we're a little bit older than these people, and we've been through several of these at this point. You and I both have. It's like your brain remembers the good times a lot more than you remember the bad times.
Yeah.
And it's like the person that you're with just kind of has to deal with that. It's like, especially if you guys live in the same place, you do the same things, it's like you're going to have moments of deja vu where it's like, I had this good time with this other person, and now I'm having this good time with you.
And that's not like even necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. Like, it's okay to have a past.
It happened today. We were driving to my parents' house to deliver them like a case of water, and the girl that like, the quote unquote girl next door, this about my history and everything, the girl that like led me on through high school, who I always thought might have been the girl to be, lives in my parents' neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we drive past her house and her car's there, and every time we drive past it, like, I notice it. And it's not even like I think anything's going to happen. Like, I think she's engaged now. I'm very happy about that. If she called me and was like, I think we should get together, I would be like, why on earth would we do that? I'm married, I'm not interested,
right,
etc. But even still, driving past that house and seeing her car, I'm always like, I know that car.
Yeah, and it's never something you're going to forget. It's not a problem.
Right. It's not a problem. It's not anything like that, but it's something that happened in my past. And there's like, and every time I drive up that street, my parents like live at the top of a hill in like a cul-de-sac. So there's a good number of houses up the hill. There's houses I notice and houses I don't. I'll see her house. I'll see our friend John's house. I'll see our friend Nolan's house. I'll see our friend Patrick's house. And there's other houses that I just don't even look at.
Yeah.
And that's just sort of like that's not probably heavy emotional baggage, but that is like a result of my experiences. I notice these things that I otherwise wouldn't.
Right. It's like I have a lot of that going on right now because I did just move back to a place that I spent a lot of time in with the girl I dated before the girl I'm dating right now.
Right.
And so it's like I go everywhere and I'm like, oh, we did this thing here and did this here, and it's like nothing wrong with that. It's not like I'm sitting here, gosh, I wish I could get back with my ex. It's like, wow, this is a really small town.
Yeah, you get over it though.
No, I'm not. It's not even getting over it. It's not something I'm upset about. It's just like, wow, I have these memories.
Yeah, these memories do exist.
And,
so I mean,
luckily I'm in a relationship where it's like I can have those conversations. With my girlfriend, she's very understanding with like, the fact that I have a past and that like we did these things, and it's like, there's only so many combinations of things that people can do. It's like patterns are going to come up.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think that is important, especially to remember in this digital age for a lot of people that are expecting to find a Tinder date with no baggage.
Yeah.
It's like, dudes, let me tell you what, girls with no baggage are not on Tinder. They're just not. They're the girls sitting there.
They're not putting themselves out there.
They're the girls sitting there going, man, I just don't trust Tinder.
Yeah. And I think that's what the important lesson to learn for
girls with no baggage are married to the guy they dated in 7th grade. Like,
right. And that's the important lesson that Laura Jean learns in this movie is she had baggage she didn't realize with a guy, and that's Josh, and that's his role. And then she
it's like, and that's exactly what Jen
Peter's
says
baggage.
Is that like you're not as innocent as you claim to be because you still have these problems.
Right.
It's like you're being just as, or who says it about him falling in love with the girl that he's not supposed to be with? Who is it that says the movie or says it in the movie? It's like you're worried about you fell in love with the guy that doesn't have feelings for you, but really it's Peter that fell in love with the person that doesn't have feelings for him.
Oh, that was the gay friend.
Yeah, and that was so right. It's just like because she's the one being difficult about it.
Right.
And I mean, with obvious reasons, it's like, you can't go back to your ex's hotel room at this like high school fest and expect to get away with it.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna look bad.
It's like that whole concept of the ski trip. I was like, nobody's parents are cool with this. Nobody's parents are sending
I thought it was
them on
very
this
weird
trip.
that like they show up in King Batch is like, you're supposed to be rooming with your roommate you signed up with, but screw it, you bunch of like, and then like the filmmakers try to explain it away because Laura Jean asks Chris where the chaperones are, but that didn't answer the question for me. I was like, where are the chaperones?
It's just like,
how
that
is this
happen.
okay?
It's like, that's not a real thing.
Right.
It's like parents care. Parents definitely care.
And I think there's definitely an easy enough creative way.
And if there's anything I learned from high school, it's that parents always know.
Oh yeah, you're not hiding anything.
Nothing. They have absolutely know what's going on. And they nail that right on the head when the dad's like, hey, here's some condoms. I know what goes on at this thing. Margot went to this thing.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, they're not hiding anything from the parents. I remember I would hide beer on like the top shelf of my closet thinking my parents had no idea.
When was that?
Like in college. Like go home for summer. And
I got home for summer after freshman year, and my dad was like, hey, you want a beer? And I was like, actually, honestly, beer tried to kill my best friend this last semester, so no.
Beer didn't try to kill me.
Whatever. Alcohol tried to kill you.
Skill shots. Hey, kids, if somebody's like, hey, we put Skittles in these vodka so they change colors, it's still just vodka.
Don't eat the Skittles.
And don't eat the Skittles and don't drink the vodka.
Yeah. if you've never drank before, shots is a bad idea.
It's okay. Like, if there's one amount of peer pressure you need to be okay with, or like okay with saying no to, it's
Shots.
pushing beyond your tolerance.
Yeah.
And if you don't know your tolerance, don't push very far.
There's a great line in a song by Modern Baseball that says, "No monumental moment ever came from saying, 'Come on, dude, just do one more shot.'" And that's so accurate.
It's true.
That's Tyler and Ethan's advice corner.
Yes.
Know your limit. Don't push it. It's not fun.
Ethan, we got some listener mail not too long ago, and I'm about to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But I want to answer this question.
Okay.
We got a bunch of emails from Patreon. Holy crap. Not now. There's no exciting news.
You can't say we got a bunch of emails from Patreon.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm worried.
So we got an email. This comes from Jack. Jack says, "Bacon and eggs. A while back, you said if we have any questions about movies, we should just ask. So here I am. Every Friday, my family and I watch a film. We've had this tradition for a while now, and we are struggling for ideas. It would be really helpful if you could suggest a few. For reference, we've seen all the good Pixar movies and most of Disney's. I have a younger sister who is 11 and won't watch anything above a 12, whatever that is in the US. So I'm assuming that's PG-13.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah. Any and all suggestions are very welcome. Thanks so much, Jack. Jack, first things first. There are no bad Pixar movies. I don't care what Seamus says. I know he's listening right now. Cars 2 is still a pretty good movie, especially if you have somebody who's only watching PG films. Okay? It's maybe not a great movie for us in like the 25-year-old highly critical era of lives, but Cars 2 sells a ton of toys. For a reason. So you can just watch all the Pixar movies. If you haven't finished those, that's fine. Now, Ethan, we are tasked with PG non-Disney movies.
PG non-Disney movies.
I've got 6 for you.
Okay, what are they?
Before the acquisition of Star Wars by Disney, where Disney released, how many? 5 Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
4 Star Wars movies? All PG-13. There were 6 PG Lucasfilm Star Wars movies. Those are all excellent, and your 11-year-old sister needs to watch Star Wars. I also recommend Pirates, but that's for Disney.
Yeah,
but also PG.
I'm gonna, like, that's the thing is, like, when you say, oh, I've watched all Disney's movies, like, how far did you go with that? Because, like, Remember the Titans is a Disney movie.
Is it PG?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Well, those themes of segregation and racism are pretty deep.
I mean, Jaws is PG.
Oh, yeah. Have they seen Jaws? You definitely should watch Jaws.
But, like, that's what I'm
with your
wondering is,
family.
like, how deep do you go with, because, like, Dead Poets Society is a Disney movie.
It is?
It's Touchstone.
Oh, I wouldn't call Touchstone
But, I mean,
Disney.
it's still a Walt Disney studio.
Right, but I would.
It's just the brand that Walt Disney pushed its, like, edgier movies to.
I will say you need to watch How to Train Your Dragon and its sequels.
If you haven't watched the first 3 Shrek movies, go for it.
Shrek.
I haven't seen Shrek the 4th or whatever. Oh, gosh. This is a really good question. PG movies.
Harry Potter, the whole series.
Is not PG.
Not the whole series, but
I think it's just the first 2.
a few of those are PG.
Looking at a list. The most popular PG movie on IMDb right now is Christopher Robin. I've seen that movie twice. I cannot underestimate the importance of that movie. If you haven't seen Christopher Robin, I don't know what most of these are.
I would also... I know Ethan's not going to
Apparently Smokey and the Bandit is PG. That's not like a great movie to show your family.
I would also recommend the Miyazaki films. If nothing else, you should at least watch Spirited Away.
They're all zeros.
Ethan probably
They're
wouldn't.
all zeros. None of them are need to watch.
I mean, there's a certain level of like...
None of them are need to watch.
You could at least develop some film
I'm sure you could, but if
awareness
your criteria for a 1 is need to watch, no anime is need to watch.
I would say if there's any anime film that fits that criteria, it's Spirited Away.
Hunt for Red October, apparently also PG. Not a great movie to show your kids. Go with some of the older movies, man. Like, I don't know how far back you went with Disney, but like there are like movies like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Mary Poppins, like stuff made before, the 90s. There's a lot of good stuff back then, back when more movies used to get those ratings. There are a lot of great movies to be had. Like I would recommend both the Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Princess Bride, The Princess Diaries.
Mia Thermopolis.
I really like that movie. It's really good. I'm gonna say it. People really like Trolls.
People do love Trolls for good reason. Trolls is amazing.
Hocus Pocus is you can live without it. People love that movie. Napoleon Dynamite, I wouldn't say is a great movie to show your family.
Oh, I love that movie.
If you want to have a hard conversation, you can watch The Outsiders. I've got a list of most popular PG titles. The Secret Life of Pets is a 0. Don't watch that movie.
I didn't like it either.
It was so bad. Zootopia is a 1.
Oh my gosh, Zootopia is so good, but that's Disney.
I know. The Mask, not a great movie to show your family. Oh god, Beetlejuice. What a film. I love Beetlejuice. Like,
where did you get this list?
I just searched best PG movies. IMDb has a list for everything. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, probably not a great family movie.
Are you kidding? It's an excellent
Is
family
it?
movie. I mean, I did ask my mom what 69
Yeah.
meant probably every day for like
They're
12
just
years.
a little like Airplane is a PG movie, and like there's some of these that are just inappropriate. Rocky is a PG movie. Ghostbusters, show your family Ghostbusters.
Definitely need to watch
Ghostbusters.
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, that's PG.
Ghostbusters is apparently the 77th best PG movie. I don't believe that at all. Ghostbusters. You can show him God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness. Don't do that.
Rio
was fun.
Rio's good.
There was that Scooby-Doo movie. Matilda, is that Disney?
Rio 2.
Oh, Jumanji?
The original Jumanji. It'd be a little scary.
Nah, I watched that when I was like 5.
Yeah, but it scared the crap out of me. I also watched like The Patriot when I was like 5.
I mean, I watched very inappropriate movies when I was like 5. I saw Jurassic Park when I was like 4 years old, and I was
Right.
just very early. Like some of the movies we grew up with, man, like a lot of those early Jim Carrey movies, like Bruce Almighty's hilarious. Yes Man's hilarious. Like Liar Liar is hilarious. Big Fat
Yeah,
Liar was
all very
hilarious.
good.
You can go with
All
some of the
very
classics like E.T., Close Encounters. There's all over.
Anyway, so that's probably a couple movies to at least get you through the week.
I mean, pretty much it looks like everything made before 1990 that didn't involve like bloody murder was rated PG. So if you're just based on rating, you're probably good. Where are we
Yeah,
at on
that's
time?
probably, we're close. We can wrap
Okay,
up.
cool. For some reason, I have a picture of Bulby Stroganoffsky from Jimmy Neutron open on my computer that I just found.
As you should.
As one should, Bulby Stroganoffsky. Because, I now remember, because Polly in Discord became named Polky. And I was like, isn't that from Jimmy Neutron? No, it's not. It's Bulby. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I gotta get the big board open.
The big board. I've got to get to the big board.
Can't bring them in here. They're gonna see the big board.
Exciting news,
Dr.
everyone.
Strangelove,
We're gonna redo
or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, by the way, in case you're wondering what movie I was quoting. You can't fight in here. This is a war room.
I tell you what is oh my god, Glengarry Glen Ross, is that PG?
I would not recommend showing that to a child.
First place, get a Cadillac.
First place, Cadillac Eldorado. Second place, set of steak knives. Third place, you fired. You see these leads? These are the Glengarry leads.
You don't get
these
leads?
leads. Giving these leads to you will be throwing them in the trash. I'm from downtown, from Mitch and Murray.
Oh my god, so good, so good. All right, so I got the big board. There's not really a
First of all,
villain in this
villain
movie.
ranking. Who is the villain? The villain
The
is
sister?
no, the villain. Wait. Kitty? Nah. Nothing good would have ever happened to Laura Jean if she didn't send those letters.
I guess.
The villain is Laura Jean's own internal monologue of she's not good enough.
Or Jen.
Nah, not Jen.
No, Jen. Peter loves her.
Yeah, but she
They
didn't
don't have to go through
she
this
didn't
whole
really do anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the internal conflict is pretty good. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I can see that. Man versus self.
Man versus self, or in this case, Laura Jean versus self.
Laura Jean's man.
Big board ranking.
Oh god, I don't even know where to start.
I hit 41. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think it's better
than
that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I don't know if it's better than Order.
I think
of the
it's
Phoenix,
better than
though.
Order of the Phoenix. It's not better than Iron Man 3.
Man, we're being brutal to this film. If you loved this
I
film,
really
that's
liked
fine.
Iron Man 3, though. But then right above it, you got Return of the Sith, which you love. I love Iron Man 3. We both love Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, but it cannot pass Ant-Man.
I don't think it's better than Sorcerer's Stone. That's absurd.
That is absurd.
I'm not gonna give
That's
it.
a
I'm not really
classic.
gonna give it better than 2 Harry Potter movies. But I didn't like Half-Blood Prince, even though we rated it higher. That was all Sophie.
Sophie, big heart, love you, Soph.
I'm cool.
Come
I'm
back
cool with putting
anytime.
it at 41, right above Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's actually not 41. There's
It's
some updating
43,
to
I
this
think.
list. Yeah.
44, maybe. Whatever. It's not that good. It's got a 96%.
I don't think. I mean, I can see why anybody who watches it will like it.
Yeah, it was cute.
So I can I don't think it's a bad
Right,
film.
but-
I don't think the story was poorly
But like I
told.
said, it's a 0.5. It doesn't hurt, but it's also not necessary. It's like it's not bad. It's not particularly good. It's like it's the equivalent of that like shrug emoji that people do.
I'm a huge fan of the shrug emoji for people who don't know.
I like the actual emoji. I don't like the like emoticon one that people do. I'll send it to you. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I hate that one. It just seems so sarcastic. But then you put the actual shrug emoji and you're just kind of like, eh. Like the emoji seems like more of like a eh, whereas the emoticon one just seems like I don't really give a what you have to say. And maybe it's just because I have a friend that uses it all the time to be a jerk about it. So
right above Ant-Man
Ant-Man and the Wasp, the new 44, possibly 43, possibly 45. I really don't know. I need to update the list.
Somewhere
The list
in
is a
there.
little bit cumbersome at this point.
You know, fun fact, listeners. At the end of year 1, rapidly approaching,
Doing a new list.
we will do a new list, and we will revisit the list, make some minor adjustments, and then
Close it forever.
we'll sell the list.
We'll sell it.
We'll sign and sell the list. Baconandeggs.com or .media or whatever the crap. our
Okay,
website
we can do
is.
that.
Seems easy enough.
That seems fine. Yeah, we can make a nice copy of it.
Yeah,
Good idea.
I know. I'm full of good ideas.
That's why Tyler's the idea man.
Oh my god. A breakfast food. You know what this is, Ethan? I'm going there. We haven't talked about this at all, but as long as we're talking back to school, modern back to school, when I think back to school and I think breakfast food, I think French toast sticks from the cafeteria.
Okay, that works.
Surprisingly
Delightful. Not that expensive. Doesn't ask that much of you. Is a little stale.
Is a little stale,
That
but
works
at the same
perfectly.
time,
What a good call.
it's exactly what you expect.
It is very predictable. What a good call. Wow. You just drug that out of your butt.
No, I didn't. I think Emily bought French toast sticks not too long ago.
Oh, I got French toast sticks the last time I was at Sheets. They were delightful.
That's exactly where we were.
They're
Sheets.
good. The French toast sticks from Sheets
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
You got to eat them like right away though. Like if you let them get cold at all, they suck.
Okay, so we've got a breakfast food.
I think that's it.
What else?
We did the fill-in. We did the big board. We did the breakfast. We did the hash browns. We did the toothpaste. You got another segment sitting in your bum right now.
I've always got segments. We even did listener mail. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Bacon and Eggs, a movie lovers podcast. As always, if you want to interact with us, the best way to do so is to go over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/baconandeggs. All month of September, if you sign up at any pledge level, we will write you a handwritten card on a very nice Bacon and Eggs postcard. But we're going to put it in an envelope so that it doesn't get damaged, so that you can keep it and cherish it forever or throw it away or whatever you want to do. I don't know. But we'll write you a fun little message and sign it, and it'll be a good time. But the best way to get in touch with us constantly, you can email us at baconandeggsmedia@gmail.com. You can join our Discord server for $5 a month on patreon.com/baconandeggs. Again, just between you and I, it does not charge you until October 1st. Okay? Like, it's literally just you and me that know this. You can join and literally chat with us until October 1st without paying a single dollar. It's very exciting. You can also join our Facebook group. It's free and available for everyone. We try to post on there like every other day. That's moderated by Isabella Pearson. Our Discord is moderated by Ines Fumayor and Rachel Dickhausen. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at AmeriCarlin. That's America RLIN. You can follow Ethan on Instagram and Twitter at WowNow. You can follow the brand on Instagram at Bacon and Eggs Podcast, on Twitter at Bacon and Eggs 23. I don't know what else I say.
Our artwork is by Vaishon Brand of Graphite, and our music that you heard at the beginning of this episode, I promise, is by Citrix.
His links are in the doobly-doo.
Everyone's
as
links are in the
well.
doobly-doo. All of our links are in the doobly-doo. There's a bunch of links in the doobly-doo. You can't get this movie on Amazon with our affiliate link because
It's only
on Netflix. But you can get a copy of Independence Day.
You can buy the book on Amazon. They sell books there.
That was how they started. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, I think that's everything we say. You got any last thoughts? Any final stuff? Oh, also, you can join our Facebook group and you'll get access to Tyler singing a song of his choosing between two songs.
Oh, yeah. Hooked on a feeling.
And then
That's a
that
little
video will get posted a
potential
week
preview.
after on our Patreon. And we're also going to about to start having some content on our Patreon, more than we've done in the past. We're going to do some stuff for y'all.
Stuff for y'all.
There, I said it in the episode. Now we have to do it. Get
Now
me
we
a
have
schedule.
to do it. Can do.
All right, neat.
Can-doozle.
I think that's everything we have to say. And that means thank you for listening to another episode of Bacon and Eggs. I've been Ethan Anchill. He's been Tyler Carlin. And until next week, are you with Archie?
A sexy Rubik's Cube.